Hi everyone, and welcome back to the virtual classroom where we look, listen and learn together. I went for a walk today and I walked down to a beautiful park where there's lots of wide open space and there's lots of different trees. And some trees were tall, some trees were short. Some trees I had to look way up high. Some trees I looked down low. They might have been quite young. Some trees were very old. Some trees had very wide trunks. Some had very narrow trunks. But I looked up at one particular tree, and this tree had thin, narrow, needle-like leaves on it. And when I looked down at the ground underneath the tree, something had fallen from the tree. I wonder if those clues help you to think about what tree I might have seen on my walk today. That's right. It was a type of pine tree or a conifer. These are pine cones, aren't they? They're cones. And they're very interesting objects. Don't know if you've ever seen a pine cone before on one of your walks. And these are the female pine cone. And there's a male pine cone too, and the male pine cone helps the female pine cone to grow because the male pine cone has some pollen that it lets out into the air, and when that pollen hits the female, it starts to grow. And these take a long time to grow. They can take months to grow. And this is not open yet. You can see that. It's still protecting its seeds because inside are the seeds that help more trees to grow. So in here, they're all protected and they're enclosed. And you can see that there's quite a bit of sap on here protecting it and keeping these seeds intact. And this one has opened. It also keeps the seeds protected from maybe the climate, maybe the cold, the heat, and maybe some animals that might like to get inside here. There'd be lots of animals that like the seeds that are inside the pine cone. I have a special book here with me today, and this book is called Botanicum, and it is from the Royal Botanical Gardens in Kew in the United Kingdom. It has lots of beautiful pictures, and because it's the United Nations International Year of Plant Health, I thought we could find a page maybe in here about the pine cones that we found. Let me have a look. Scroll through all these beautiful pages. You can see all of the detail on here. Oh, in this book, there's a page about conifers. You can see some of the pictures in there of all the pine cones. They're the illustrations. And in here, it gives us some information about pine cones and about conifers, about pine trees. And it says that conifers take up about 30% of the world's forests. So there are a lot of trees of this species in the world. That's quite a lot. And they survive in some of the most hostile, which means hard places to grow, and cold places. You might see them when you go skiing or snowboarding or up to the mountains for a hike or for a visit. And as we said before, they have needle-like leaves, which makes them distinctive, makes you think that they are a pine tree when you look at them. And most of them are evergreen. Have you heard of that word before? Evergreen. That means that most of them don't lose their needles, they don't lose their leaves, they stay green all year long. They don't have flowers, it says. But what do they have instead of flowers? What were these? Do you remember what these were called? That's right, they're the cone. So they have the cone, and that's how they make their seeds to produce more trees. And they're quite intelligent, smart trees, because when the cone turns brown and the seeds are released by wind, or maybe sometimes even animals, they know when to release the seed. They know when to open. Might be the temperature, it might be fire, but they know when the land is clear enough below so that their seeds can grow beneath them. So they're a very, very smart tree. And they're a very interesting tree because they have lots of different types of cones and needles. Some needles are long, some needles are short and spiky. They're very beautiful too, and very unique, and they have lots of different patterns within them. I don't know if you'd like to do some more research on conifers and on pine trees or pine cones. Maybe you could get on your computer or your iPad or iPhone, do a bit of research, look up some facts about pine cones. They're an interesting tree to look at. I'll see you next time. Bye.